YouTube, what's going on, everybody? I hope all is well. I am back. It's been a long time. I've been on a hiatus, especially when it comes to the podcast, mainly because y'all know, man, podcasting takes a lot of your time, especially when it comes to editing. We'll get back to that, but I did want to get back to you all, but in a different way. Not too different, but when I say different, I mean not so much podcast. As you can tell, this is live. Our podcast is pre-recorded and then uploaded. So this is called Poetry Business Live, and you have the opportunity to feature or be a guest on this show if you'd like. You would just need to go to poetrybusinessnetwork.com, and when we drop the announcement that we're going live, you can just click that link and join us. So we already have done that, and this was an idea that I had to have great conversations with the members of the Poetry Business Network from all around the world. And so in just a minute, we're going to talk with one of the poets that was on live with me on Instagram. And we're going to talk about her poetry journey, answer any questions that she might have to the best of my ability, and have a good time. All right. So if you all have any questions while we have this conversation, just drop it in the comments. But again, if you want to be a guest on the show, I encourage you to go to poetrybusinessnetwork.com. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Join the network. That's one of the benefits of joining. But let's get started. All right. I'm going to pull Siltona on the screen real quick, and we have a great conversation. Let's do it. Siltona, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Christoph. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm glad that you had some time to carve out and have a conversation with me.
This is amazing. This is just so brilliant. I'm so excited. Seriously, this is awesome.
Beautiful. It's so funny. Like literally like an hour and a half. Weren't we just on Instagram Live?
And I was just going to Instagram just to, get my inspiration and get some content and maybe post. And then I saw the circle saying Poetry Business Network is live. So I'm going to see what you're doing because you're my people. And I was like, today? And I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. So where are you located?
I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I just drove through there.
Oh, man.
From Atlanta.
Whoa, that's a drive. And I had just come in 5 minutes before I saw that Poetry Business Network was live on Instagram. I had just got in. And I said, I'm going to check my Instagram and I was going to get ready to check my email before I started, getting busy doing things.
Okay. Well, talk to me. Where are you on your poetry journey?
If you're talking time frame, I would say I'm mid-career. If we're talking officially formulated, I would say fledgling and starting. But I've been doing poetry for over 10 years. I did not think of it as a business until maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
And you have given me so much game and tea and value. It's amazing. You gave me more than more than a cohort I was in. And I've only been with you since February. So like I said, you're my people.
I love it. That's beautiful. So with the little bit of information that I've been able to impart on you, where do you see let's do this. Where did you see your poetry going? Now, where do you see your poetry going?
Okay. If anyone has ever listened to the videos and the modules, it's gonna sound like I'm quoting one, but this is real. This is from me. I saw myself as a poet doing poetry at gigs and getting paid. Now I have a poetry business, which will be more than just open mics and gigs, and I'm going to be paid well. But not just paid well. It's not just about the money, but there is a difference. But I'll be able to reach more people with what I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By branding, by stepping out of my comfort zone, I don't like video. I just want to nurture people. And I don't like videos. I don't like doing videos. I just want to be on the mic with people, nurture you, give you a word, and I'm done. Give me a check. But my thinking is changed. I can do that on a larger scale now.
Right.
And when I say larger scale, I don't mean just larger scale the money. I mean larger people to share what I do. Mm-hmm. I empower, I enlighten, and I inspire. How many people have been in the largest room I've ever been in? Maybe 110 people.
Right.
That's not even every gig. So exponentially, I can reach more people. I'm here to help people, to nurture people, to tell people how to come from where I was to be a better, healthier self. Okay, long story short, I didn't have low self-esteem. I had none. Poetry literally saved my mind and my life. I was only doing affirmations and poetry. Actually, I wasn't even doing poetry. I was doing affirmations in the mirror to go to a very toxic job to survive because I didn't see any other options. And a poem dropped in my spirit, line by line. That's God saying, I got you. And that's how it started. I didn't actually start doing poetry until I was 50 years old. And my grandmother was a poet. So I went to poetry events, cafes, and everything in New York for decades. Never had an inclination, never thought I want to do that, it never occurred to me. But when you are open to your calling, and then you'll be ready. So in other words, when the student is ready, the teacher, sir, shows up.
Yeah, you're speaking. You are speaking truth. You know, it is. It's one of those things when you focus on a thing, that thing expands, right? And you become magnetic, right? So, like you said, you hopped on Instagram, and coincidentally, I was live on Instagram. Small example, you know, right? But also, I could be live and you not notice because you weren't focused on this. You could have saw or seen somebody else live before you saw our live, and then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Or I could have seen you live and just scrolled on by.
Right.
But I'm locked in to the Poetry Business Network because I've gotten value there already. So I want to see what we do. I said, what we doing? So I was like, click.
Yeah.
And then I listened. And you said anybody, and not normally. If I was second guessing myself, I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have commented.
Right.
But now I'm out. I'm out there. I'm on a limb, and I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be with you. I'm supposed to be connected. And I need you to tell me in advance later if there are going to be any events in New York in September. We'll talk.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. No, you just said one word that stood out to me. The word we. Not what they doing. What are we doing? And that means so much to me. And it should mean a lot to other people because that's what I teach. What are you creating that's bigger than you that makes other people say we? That's when your poetry starts to, or your service or your product, whatever it might be. What are you creating? What are you offering that makes people say we to the thing that you are creating? Not, oh, his thing is so great. No, our thing, you know, and that's, you just showed me that I've reached my goal.
And I didn't say that just to say that. That's what I thought. That's what I feel. So when I say you my people, I don't say that lightly or flippantly.
Right.
I mean that. Community is extremely important to me. And if we're going to talk just a little teeny bit about one of my passions next to poetry, it's history, Black history. The community was, and in some instances still is, and in all instances it should be, foundational. And it's not everywhere, and that is what it is. But that it was. If you needed anything, if you needed to know something, there was no gatekeeping when it was successfully done. If I have something, I'm going to share it, because the old saying, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed minds and closed hands can't receive either. So community it's my jam.
Indeed. Yeah. And it's so important right now.
Yes.
Oh,
and people better get it. They better get it. They better find one or create one, but you need to be in community. I know I need to be.
You can't do this alone.
No, and we weren't created to do it alone. Long story short, we are stronger together. Bottom line.
So what questions do you have?
Oh, I got 99,000 questions. So let me pick. Look, we're going to be together a while, if not right here on this live. I have a lot of questions. I'm not feeling the ability or the bodies to create a poetry community where I am. I've done events. People love me. When you're going to have the next one, reach out to poets. They're not available. Had coffee with a poet 5 months ago. That took 3 months for it to happen. I'm like, y'all better get this. And I don't chase people. So I'm just going to wait. But I'm not feeling that community, but I have a poetry community. I would like to have one locally, but it's not here at this time. I can't even see creating it. I've reached out to even to other artists, because art is art. Art is healing. Art creates community. So it doesn't have to only be poets. And at this time, I'm like, you're not gonna run me into the ground. I'm not gonna be doing everything. We all need to come together. So I sort of have my answer, like, what else can I do to sustain myself? And I know it's Poetry Business Network, but anything else that you can suggest? I mean, I go to cultural events, but
Got it. So the question is, who are the like-minded people in your area?
Right. Where are they?
Not just people. Right. Not just people, because each person is not created equal in that respect. Not everybody is focused like you are. So to your point, yes, we have the Poetry Business Network online. But if you don't know, we also have the local chapters that we're launching. And so what is also possible, and what I want to do here, this will not only help you, but it will help somebody else as well. Share screen, and I'm going to, I think I've shared this, this feature of the Poetry Business Network. But if you check out the map, this will show you who's in your area. And the cool thing about the network is you already know they're like-minded. Somewhat. I mean, you don't know how specific, how specifically like-minded they are, but let's see. Do we have anybody in North Carolina Do we have? Yeah, we have somebody. We have Mr. Jackson here in Raleigh.
Okay.
Right. So, in roughly, I would say about 3 people in North Carolina. Well, actually, more than that. That's Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, several people in Charlotte
Okay.
or around it. Right. So Done B, Ashley Armstrong, and who was this one? And Darren Mack. Right. So what we can do right now is stand up a chapter in North Carolina. And how we have it set up is on a monthly basis, you all as a local chapter meet on Zoom. But quarterly, you then meet in person, maybe in your area of North Carolina. And then the next quarter, you then take a little road trip to whatever part of North Carolina that your other member, your chapter member is in. So, and the cool thing about that is it's built-in road trips that allow you to step outside of your local area, your comfort zone, and not only meet some other people in that other area of your state, but also you might get together and go to an open mic where you feature or perform at an open mic in their area and vice versa. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does.
Yep. And the really cool part about it is you all can partner on projects. When you have a contract that you need other people on, or if you want to put people on to new opportunities and vice versa, the local chapters always work well. But the premise that, in my mind, not just local community, but the state and country chapters serve as on the job training. When I say that, I mean you all will be challenged to call a school and see if you all can work and partner with that school and talk to the kids and do a poetry class at a school. You'll be challenged to reach out to a local business and see if they can sponsor your meetup. Or you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
Right. So when you would treat your chapter as if it is a business, so you can learn how to do it in your own business.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I, even outside of the network, I always try to encourage poets who say, there really isn't a poetry scene where I am. And I hear what you're saying. But I always say, if you can't find it, you can create it. And so I already know, I can hear that you already have heard that before. But you may simply need to know how to go about it in that creation of the scene where you are. But we can start here. But it's possible. Indeed. What else you got?
Oh my goodness. What else? All right. 2 contracts. Do I need an attorney, or do I go somewhere for a template?
Got it. Now, here's the cool part about today, about 2025, and we live in the future. I don't know if people understand and recognize that we are the Jetsons right now.
We are.
And it was like overnight almost, but we are in the future, and really super new. But AI is here. ChatGPT is here.
I can do my contract that way.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And legal advice, all of the above. Obviously, you want to have somebody in the pocket to confirm things, but on the surface level, oh man, I draft my proposals in less than 2 minutes. I draft my contracts and customize my contracts in no time using ChatGPT and emails, you name it.
Well, I use it. I've done proposals, but I didn't know I could do a contract that way, or if there was another way to do contracts or to get my contracts. So I've done proposals that way.
Before there was ChatGPT, I would do what you just said and go get a template on Google as a Word document and customize it to my needs.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay.
So, but now I can fully customize it, with the messaging of my business. It knows my business, right? And so yes, to answer your question, ChatGPT and others will get you right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, I'm still doing my business name search. I've been knocked down 3 times, so I'm in another formation of it. Yes. So I don't want to say it now, but I think this might be the one. Used it based on the module, and I'm putting my name in it since it's unique, as you talked about. So not there yet, but we're getting closer.
All right. And you have two cool
names. But we just using the first one. And we're not going to use the last one. That's for 2 other future businesses. We're doing something else on the side. My family and I. That's something else.
I love it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we create
stuff. To hear that. That's okay. That's good. That's good. And whatever those other businesses are, just know that poetry and the arts adds value to every industry.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm an advocate for that.
Yes. Yep. So beautiful. All right. What's an action step that you can take immediately that could add value to what you have going on already?
Immediately, do you mean today or this week? How immediate are you talking, Christoph?
Let's just say this week.
Okay. Action step. Well, since I'm on vacation from my part-time job, I'm gonna call somebody. I don't know who I'm calling yet, but I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna contact somebody, an entity.
All right. No, I like to hear that. That's beautiful. I'm glad that your response is substantive, not I can go do something, but something specific to where it will really add value, because you really can listen. You can change things in little to no time.
Okay, look, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that, Christoph.
Oh, really?
I believe you, though. I do.
I'm completely honest with that, because that phone call could be the phone call. Remember the magnetism. That phone call could be the answer to a school that's looking for something creative. And schools are always looking for something different, unique, and creative. So for the phone to ring on their end and you say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I add value. Oh, please come on in. Let's schedule a in-person meeting and let's talk. Yep. Yeah, it goes from cold call to warm handshake. Yep. But most people won't do it.
Well, I was a person that wouldn't do it. Then I'm a person that does it, and the no's would shut me down emotionally, psychologically, and I'd be the naysayer in my head. But I've gotten the no's from schools, or no, the no's or the ghosting, no response. I'm like, how you cannot respond? But that you don't know what's going on, not trying to figure it out. But I'm at a point now that doesn't shut me down anymore. I'm already thinking who I'm going to call now.
Here's how you will no longer be shut down by the no's. And this is what I had to learn. You have to change your focus. That word, we'll be saying that word often, right? The word focus. You have to change your focus or your goal, right? And if your focus or your goal is no longer to get a yes, and your focus is transformed into or transformed from getting a yes to just making the phone call, then you win regardless.
Oh, then I've already been successful.
Yes, there you go.
I've already done it. Look, they ain't called me back, but I called.
Exactly, because you faced the fear and made the phone call. Thank you, God.
That's
for
what I
giving me
said.
the confidence, right? Now, the yes is the icing, or the response is the icing on the cake.
Yes.
But that's not the goal, right? So the goal is, you know what? I'm going to make a phone call today. That right there, and end right there.
I can do that.
I'm going in confident. I'm going in confident, but the goal is I'm going to make this phone call. It doesn't matter what they say, because the goal is to make this phone call. Now, if they are positive in their response and they're interested, beautiful. But now I can go on to my next phone call. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And the goal is to make that phone call. Now the no is inconsequential.
Exactly.
Because that wasn't the goal. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate the conversation that we had. If you think of me again, just give me a call, that type of thing. But I appreciate it, and move on.
That's it. That's good. That's good.
That's it. When I learned that, and I learned it on a higher scale, to where the goal is make 10 phone calls, right? Once I got past I'm scared of making one, right? The goal is make 10 phone calls a week. Okay, all right. I was successful at making 10 phone calls. Next week, let me stay consistent and make 10 phone calls this week. If they say yes, thank the Lord. But that's not the goal. Now, at the same time, though, through that repetition and through those conversations, you'll naturally get better, and you'll naturally get more confident, right? And you'll have more FAQs, frequently asked questions, that you'll have answers to.
Right.
So the yeses will come more frequent because you're getting better at it.
Okay.
So at this point, it's doing it and just getting your reps in.
Now, when I said I'll be on here today, this is a big thing for me. Like I said, I don't like videos. And then when I had the link and I couldn't get in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be calm. We're gonna reach out to Christoph and we'll let him know I'm not in. And Opie's not like, why she can't get in? And you were great. And then bing, bang, boom, I was in.
There you go. Because most people, can't get in. All right, now that wasn't meant to be.
No, that's the old Sultana. That's I want to say a decade ago, but let's say 5 years and be real. I would have been like, oh yeah, that no. Mm-hmm. Look, he didn't give the right link, or I'm not doing it right, and okay, I'm gonna go what I had planned to do. I'm like, no.
That's exactly what it was. I didn't give you the right link.
But you see, but I also said, oh, I didn't do it right because I did it twice. I mean, I tried to. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Should I screenshot it? Overthinking. Right. I'm like, why am I screenshotting him? Just send him a message. Bring it down. And send him a message.
And focus on solution, not the problem.
Exactly. Look, bring it down and think clearly and calmly. Look, and here I am doing a video, which I don't like doing. I appreciate you, sir. My poetry brother.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens after this.
Okay.
This then becomes content that you created one time that will be chopped up to have multiple reels that gives you multiple pieces of content for the weeks to come.
I'm loving it. Definitely. Love it.
So, and this basically, this is in investment terms, this is an asset that you create one time that keeps on giving.
We're going to repurpose this right here.
There you go. That's I appreciate you, Sultana. From the Instagram live and to taking yourself serious, because let's be honest, a lot of people don't.
Well, let's be honest. A long time ago, I didn't. But I have a divine purpose. I have a story that someone needs to hear, and I haven't even met that person yet. So, but if I'm not out there, they won't know.
I love it. Sultana, I appreciate you. We're going to keep on doing this. And thank you for being my first guest. Indeed. So this will keep on getting better and better. Yep. So we'll keep on talking. All right.
All right. Have a prosperous, wonderful day. Appreciate you.
All right. We'll talk. All right.
Bye.
Talk to you. Bye. Awesome. That was fun. That was our first episode of Poetry Business Live. If you want to do that with me, I encourage you to go to that link right there at the bottom, poetrybusinessnetwork.com. Literally had this idea today. I said, I want to get back on YouTube. And I want to have great conversations again. However, I don't want to edit. That's why I have not gotten back on my podcast, Poetry Business Podcast, in a good while, in some months. I'll get back to that once I get a team of editors and things of that nature. But this is a perfect example of not stopping. You may have slowed down or you may have stopped, but I encourage you to pick back up. When things happen in life, when life's, I encourage you to simply slow down a bit, but don't stop. If you slow down, you're still moving. You're still building momentum. Don't let momentum die. When you let momentum die, you have to pick it up and start it over again. And you know that's the hard part. All right? If you got to slow down, but keep on going. Listen, I had a lot of fun. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. But if you want to be a guest on the Poetry Business Live, I encourage you to join us at poetrybusinessnetwork.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, let's go. Let's grow. And let's make some things happen. All right, I'm out of here, y'all.